Listen, I told y'all this. I did not do this the right way. I did it over. This is trash.
Yeah,
I did it over the phone, right? Man. Oh man, I remember like I was laying on the floor in the closet. I'm laying on the.
He went to the closet to feel protected.
Seriously.
Yo.
Like my homie know what I'm about to do. I don't know why I'm hiding in the closet, but
oh man,
first you never want to enter a relationship over the phone. That's trash. That's immature. Duh. And it's a cop-out to me. It's a cop-out. It's being completely scared of what you feel.
Breakup etiquette.
I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting over now, I'm out of time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance, I stand. I'm going for 4 and no white sand. I give it all to this mic stand. If it's been done before, then I know I can. I'm on the rise, I'm trying to keep a level head.
Okay. What's the deal, y'all? Hope all is well. Welcome back to another episode of I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalan, and this is another episode of the #1 podcast in Los Angeles, Nice and Neat, and we are still on the road to 100.
Hello.
Fellas, we got an interesting topic today. Interesting topic. I casually scroll through comments every now and again, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube, and me and Brittany, we sit up and we talk about it, right? We sit up, we talk about what's interesting and what people are going through, because like single people's problems is relationship people's tea.
Yep.
So we don't really have like problems that we just like deal with on a day-to-day. Our lives are pretty consistent, things is pretty in order and in line, and where our tea comes from is what single people is talking about in the street. So you be like, what's the tea?
Yep.
So some of the tea, man, that I think could help out some people that we've seen, was just like, it's been a lot of breakups going on. It's been a lot of breakups going on, whether it's with, people that you guys may know or even celebrities. Like we seen most recently Jenny Mai and Jeezy. Mm-hmm. Jeezy filed for a divorce,
which is crazy because men rarely file for divorce.
That's what caught my attention.
Hey, that's crazy. Men rarely are like, I'm out of here. I'm the one serving them papers. That was eye opening to me.
So let me tell you how I felt about that. And just a quick synopsis. We're gonna get into all of the breakups. When I seen that, first thing I said was, oh man, you know what? It's probably some real family things and the way that they want to raise their child that they didn't really dive into.
And that's what came up. That's what literally came. I think what I read was something that had to do with like cultural differences. Mm-hmm. So it's something that they didn't discuss before, which is crazy.
They had a COVID marriage.
COVID
marriage.
But we talking about a couple who's they got to be in their 40s, bro. So for them not to have them type of conversations, that sound hella odd.
You don't think you get excited and jump the gun in your 40s?
At 40, I feel like you've dated enough people to know what questions to ask. I feel like especially those two people in particular, like, I'm
gonna ask you guys, because how do you guys feel about the nuances and the potential struggles that could come from interracial dating?
How do I feel about it?
Do you think that had anything to do with it? Because you're saying cultural, I feel like.
Well, I think that's always on the table.
Okay.
I think it's always on the table, man, because there is a barrier that you got to overcome, and I just know my family, like when I have kids, I'm going to take our kids to Nigeria, right? That's something I want to communicate to Chanel when it's time, right? With or without her. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So maybe
does she know this now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but maybe that's something that, because she's from, I don't want to get it wrong.
I don't know.
I don't want to get it wrong, but
it's called the Asian descent.
Yeah, she's from somewhere over there. That sounds bad. Huh? Somewhere over there.
She's from somewhere.
But look, let's take it out. But she's from. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Yo. Oh man. But she is.
She's Asian.
She's Asian.
She's Asian.
Okay?
She's Asian.
And what I was thinking is like, yo, maybe she kind of wants to take their daughter to Asia for whatever. And he's like, nah, I'm not cool with that, right? And she's like, nah, I really need, because he needs to see this, or she needs to learn this and learn this. And those things can't, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying when you think about cultural differences, you got to consider those things. You have to.
I feel like it had something to do with, this is all speculation, something to do with her family. Based from my experience, I have some friends who are in this interracial relationship. Same thing, Asian and Black. And from what I've heard from them, it seems like at least the fathers on the Asian side are very, very
Protective, territorial.
Not like they believe in lineage. You know what I mean, and
Right.
and supporting the bloodline and keeping that strong. You know what I mean?
Well, I think
Love it.
that's
So I feel like that could be something that could have something to
that's
do
a lot
with
of
it.
cultures.
For sure.
That's a lot of cultures, and especially the father.
As the father, that's what I mean.
So heavy influence.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So heavy, hey, yo, you should do this, or you
Yep.
make sure we do this, make sure we do this. And
Or if you do this, I won't be around.
yeah,
That,
that could be something. We just speculating.
We just speculating.
So I mean, so imagery. The relationship looked like it was strong. It was flourishing. It looked good.
Well, of course, we're gonna see that though. We follow it on
I
social.
mean, and this was interesting for me to see. It threw me off when you see somebody that's not of a race say Black King, and
they said Black King,
she said Black King. She called her Black King.
not King, just my Black King.
My Black King.
She should have just called him her queen.
My Black King.
I mean her king.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see that and see them break up like less than a year later and seeing things like that. It's a space in me that trying to decide, like when is the right time to break up with somebody or even working through a relationship. Like I feel like in a marriage, it's gonna sound kind of crazy, but I feel like there's like you got to put a bare minimum time limit on turmoil that you have to go through before you can just give a divorce.
Throwing the towel.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it can't be like, oh man, this is a rough 3 months. Like, let's just go ahead and end it. Nah.
For sure.
As y'all homie, if you guys are married and you like, y'all been going through it for 3 months, it's like, all right, bro.
Hey, for better or worse, man.
Better or worse,
Stick it out, bro.
and
How can we help?
How can we help?
But yeah,
right?
yeah, but it's not just, hey, yo, stick it out for better or worse. It's not just that. I mean, that's the premise of it. But it's like, all right, how can we get you to the point where you guys are on good terms?
Yep.
It's not just like set it and forget it or just leave it alone.
Yeah.
It'll work itself out. You know what I mean? I don't believe in that. But I do believe in a certain minimum of time, minimum of commitment.
Well, what's that? What is that
3
minimum?
months is 3 months is like 3 weeks.
It's like 3 days in terms of a
yeah,
relationship.
3 months that could happen.
And bro,
like
that's not even a full season.
You know what I mean?
3 months, that's nothing.
Facts.
So I would say, man, 2 years. That's and it's, what's crazy?
I think that's a good number.
As adults, 2 years seem long.
It's really
go by
not
fast.
It's really
as
not.
adults.
Yep.
2 years of being miserable.
2 years.
It's like that's
an eternity.
So. But what I'm saying is, if you said you wanted to be with somebody for an eternity.
Yeah.
So if you marry somebody and you just like, yo, I'm not happy, I'm out. Like you said, like, yo, you got to at least go through like 2 years.
If you're serious.
And this is barring any physical abuse. This is just I'm unhappy. Irreconcilable differences.
Yeah.
At least 2 years.
I'll say this too. Oh, you married now. Mm-hmm. We're not. Right? So we haven't even been through that type of storm yet. Right?
We haven't either.
So right now, we just kind of hypothetically speaking, right? It's not the Bible.
I'm gonna ask you this. So you've been in your relationship for a good amount of time.
Correct.
Have you been unhappy for a week?
I have.
Okay, cool. So in that, would you be like, oh, it's okay for me to leave my relationship because I've been unhappy for a week?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you've been in a storm while you've been in a relationship.
Yeah, I understand that, right? But I feel like there's different types of storms for different types of people, right? Sometimes storms are just like magnified in different relationships. So You know, I just don't want to put a blanket, hey, yo, stick it out for 2 years, because everyone's situation is different, right? There may be a history of repetitive action, and then you get to a point where you're like, I'm out. And then that's when your 2 years starts, you know?
Do you look at marriage as forever?
Do I look at marriage as forever? I look at marriage as forever, but I feel like there is always stipulations to ending marriage, right? Because I can sit here and be like, yo, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. You know what I mean? I'm doing whatever it takes. But you can't be in a relationship by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
I didn't ask you about nobody else. I said, do you look at marriage as forever?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But I can say that and also say that, yo, but I still believe like some divorce is warranted.
Yeah.
I would never ask a woman who's in a relationship getting beat
To stay
in a relationship.
Come on, we took that out.
No.
We took that
I'm just saying though. I'm just saying because you could get married and say, "Yo, till death do us part," all the vows, and still when the door's shut, you can beat on a woman.
Nobody knows where the nose goes when the door's closed.
That's what I'm saying, right? So if that's the case, you know, like you can't just be like, "Oh no, we supposed to stay married forever." But that's not fair because now you're not upholding, or even fair. You're just not even like upholding your end of the
I'm gonna ask you, Omar, you married? Do you look at marriage as forever?
I do.
Okay. There is biblically the way to get out of a marriage is through infidelity. That's the caveat. Everything else is like, a separation, but like to get out of marriage, it is to sleep outside of your home, right? So in believing marriage is forever, right? What are some of the things?
Which is also a mortal sin, right?
A what?
Oh, is it mortal sin?
What?
Sleeping, not stepping outside, and sleeping infidelity as a married person, biblically.
Oh yeah, it's a sin for sure. Like to commit adultery,
Sin.
yeah, that's a sin. I mean, but the person who's sleeping with the married person,
I said mortal sin, like irrevocable.
Like what?
Irrevocable.
nah, that's not the God we serve.
That's not?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
That's not the God we serve. Irrevocable? Nah, no way.
So there's no such thing as mortal sin.
There is a such thing as reprobate mind, and that is when God does not speak to you anymore. But that's a whole.
Okay.
That's a whole.
You heard of that before?
No.
That's a whole nother.
He taking us to church on that
That's a
one.
whole nother thing. But speaking of you being married, man, just for some game, in believing in marriage forever, and you get to the point of being unhappy, God forbid, but you get to the point of being unhappy and you see some of these couples just like jump straight into divorce. Like, how does that become an option? Like, how is that an option for people, but it's not an option for you?
Probably don't keep God first in the relationship. We could start there. You know what I mean? If you got God at the center of your relationship, you know that's not, you're not even thinking about divorce as an option, provided there's no infidelity, right? But I think you could get there if you don't have, spiritually, if you're not aligned. You know what I mean? If you guys don't have the same spiritual values, that's how you could easily get to that person, get to a place where you say, hey, we need to divorce. But I think if you have God at the center of your relationship, you made a commitment not only to that person, but before God too. So without that, you could easily find yourself in a situation where, hey man, I think divorce is an option for us. So I would say that, if you don't have God, if there's no respect for a higher power within the relationship, and you guys aren't on the same, or you guys aren't in agreement on that, you're gonna have those issues.
You guys are gonna be human.
You're gonna be human. That.
So we see other breakups. We see Tiana Taylor and Iman Shumpert, but they appear to have a great co-parenting relationship. I don't want to say is that acceptable or not, because like to each his own.
Are they separated or are they divorced?
It says separated. That's what I gather from it. That's what I gather from it.
Yeah, because they said everything is still together, but they're separated.
We've been separated. I just see the word.
They're not divorced.
That's all I saw. I didn't see no divorce. I just said separated. So that means a lot. That could mean just like, hey, yo,
Does that mean we getting back? Does that mean we getting back?
I don't know. It can mean we legally married. We just not living in the same house. Right? That counts as separated.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So wait. So if you stay married but you're separated, are you breaking your vows?
So I think it's a good question, but I think if you are separated from somebody and you are, I don't believe in dating while separated.
Okay.
Being married under God, I don't believe in dating while separated. If you separated, you're separated because you need to separate yourself from the person. You don't need to separate yourself from the person to see if you want to be with somebody else. Like that's not what a separation is. I feel like a lot of people take separation and look at it like that, like, it's nothing out there. I'll go back. That's not what separation is. Yeah. That's desires of the flesh. But do I look at separation as like stepping outside your vows? No, not if you are like, yo, I need to separate to make sure that this is where we need to be. Like you still supposed to be working on y'all, but just by yourself.
Right.
That's what separation is.
Yeah.
Is that how you look at separation?
Sure.
He said now. I've never been separated.
I've never experienced. I've experienced breakups. I don't know what it's like to be separated.
You've broken up with somebody before?
Multiple times.
He said that shit proudly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it proudly.
Matter of okay. Since you experienced breakups, you're married, right? I think it's good to ask because I feel like your breakups has led you to the right place.
I would say so.
So when do you know it's time to break up with somebody? Like what is that thought process like? What is that feeling like? I know it's been a while for you, so try to get back to that place.
Ooh,
but when do you know is the right time to break up with somebody? Because I feel like there's a lot of value in understanding when to make that move too.
Golly. I mean, let me start by saying, I haven't broken up with someone in a long time, right? But the last time that I did have a breakup, I could honestly say I was really immature about it. Mm-hmm. I also want to say that I did not go about it the right way. So I want to put that out there because when I sit back and think about it, like I wasn't as polished as what we present ourselves to be here today. And I think Duke talks about that all the time. Like you know, it took a lot of work to get to this place, but I would say for me at the time, it's so crazy because you know if you're not with your person, you're not with your person. But
if you don't know, you don't know.
You know what I mean? It was like an intuition. You know, some may call it. You know, it was like a feeling that just came over me that just let me know that where I'm at right now is not going to be forever. Mm-hmm. And how did I know? Because every time I thought about making the decision, I felt right. I felt right about it. Like anytime I decided, I was like, yeah, I think I should go through with this breakup. I never had feelings where I was thinking about what would happen after and being regretful about doing it. I always felt like that if I made a decision to break up with this person, it was going to lead me to something better. Mm-hmm. So again, just intuition. You know what I mean? My intuition led me to a lot of that. And then also too, like, you know, not to judge or base your relationship off of anybody else's, right? Because every relationship is different. But if you see some things in a particular relationship that you will want and you don't feel like you have that in yours, you know, those are also feelings that you got to listen to too. You know what I mean? So there was, I guess, just the lack of whatever. I didn't know what I was missing, but the lack of, and my intuition led me to the feeling to say, hey, it's ready to break up with this person. So you got to trust your intuition.
What were some of those things you feel like you were lacking?
And here's the thing. At the time, I didn't know. That's what I'm saying.
It's just a feeling.
It was just a feeling. It was just a feeling. Today, I could sit here and tell you exactly what I was missing, right? But then at that moment in my life, I couldn't tell you.
It was just something's not here.
Something's just not here. It doesn't feel like this is the perfect fit. Like, you know, you put a glove on, you're like, yeah, this is my one. This fits. You know what I mean? It fits my fingers perfectly, fits my palm. Yeah, I didn't have that.
Hey, if the glove don't fit,
come on now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I definitely couldn't articulate it at the time. But we all know when something is missing, even if you can't pinpoint what it is. Like when you're eating food, you're making food, you tasting something, you're like, something's missing. I don't know if it's a spice, is it salt, is it? I just know it's not right. You know what I mean? When you're looking at a fit, you know, like, it's just not. It's a feel. I don't know what it is, but it's just not right. I need to add something. I need to take something away. And sometimes you can't articulate what that is until you get the thing.
So
or until you get with the next person, or until you move on to another relationship. Right. And you're like, this is what I was missing.
So, and at this point, you say you were immature.
At this, for sure.
All right.
This 20.
You can't articulate it.
Couldn't articulate it. I'm not emotionally mature enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To even articulate the words of what or for the reason why I want to leave.
Because it could almost feel crazy breaking up with someone and not even like knowing why.
And that's how I felt. Listen, I told y'all this. I did not do this the right way. I did it over. This is trash.
Yeah,
I did it over the phone, right? Man. Oh man, I remember like I was laying on the floor in the closet. I'm laying on the.
He went to the closet to feel protected.
Seriously.
Yo.
Like my homie know what I'm about to do. I don't know why I'm hiding in the closet, but
oh man,
you know, first you never want to enter a relationship over the phone. That's trash. That's immature. Duh. And it's a cop out to me. It's a cop out. It's being completely scared of what you feel.
What if you got a long distance relationship?
And technically, that's what I had. But I was gonna see her again. You know what I mean?
Should have waited till you seen her.
I should have waited till I seen her. I don't think that was fair to her. You know, I don't think it's fair to anybody to have their relationship ended over the phone. That's trash, bro. That's trash. I can sit here and say that that's weak. You a buster for that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
so how would you want to be broken up with?
In person. The same way we got together.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The same way we got together.
Okay, it's like that.
Let's finish it the way we ended it. Or let's end it the same way we started it. You know what I mean? So, you know, you don't have no, I mean, you may have butterflies, right, when you're approaching your woman to get with her, but you're going to have the same butterflies when it's time to break up.
You're going to have some butterflies. It just ain't the same.
It just ain't the same. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, like, I feel like I will want that. I will want the courtesy of someone, you know, giving me that face-to-face. But I understand not, for reasons not doing it face-to-face. Like, right, like, I don't want to get too emotional. Like, I know
go back on my word.
I don't want to go back on my word, so I understand that.
Yeah, she gonna talk me out.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I do understand the idea of quote unquote hiding behind the phone, but I just feel like you owe your person so much more than that. You know what I mean? Like,
so in talking about the etiquette, if you want to avoid that, is it good to do it in a public place?
Absolutely.
That's your best bet.
I've done that before. I've done it in a public place.
You've broken up in a public place?
Yep.
At a restaurant?
Yep.
Did she know?
Yep. I said, meet here. Let's talk about it.
Oh, so it was already rocky.
Yeah.
It was already turmoil.
Hey, yo, this is how I'm feeling, right? Hop on a call. This is how I'm feeling. But let's talk about it, right? I'm coming home because I was out here. She was in Denver. I was like, I'm coming home. Like, let's talk about it. So then we met up in the restaurant so we could just get everything out.
But let's talk about what though? Let's talk about us breaking up because you already told her.
I've already made it clear
that we breaking up. So let's talk about why it's happening.
Yeah. I made it clear. I think anybody that breaks up owes an explanation. I don't believe in like, I don't owe an explanation. I don't believe in that.
Yeah,
now, I have the luxury that if you break up with me, I can choose not to hear your explanation. I can be like, "Oh, you breaking up with me? Are you done?" I can do that. Right? I'm not saying I can do that, but I have that luxury, right? But if I break up with somebody, I gotta explain it. You know what I'm saying? It's just you gotta be a man about that.
You gotta be a man about that.
You gotta be a man about breaking up with women. You know what I'm saying? And just shoot it to them straight.
I mean, if you're a woman, you gotta be integral about breaking up with a man too.
For sure. Absolutely. I think you gotta just shoot it straight.
I want to ask you though, how do you know?
How do I know
when it's time to break up with a woman?
Man, you know what? It's when I look at the behavior, if it's jeopardizing our future, not our moment, like our future.
So it's just behavior from her. It has nothing else to do with anything else.
Nah, I'm real big on I made a decision to be here, and it might be a little toxic, but like if I made a decision to be somewhere, like.
But what if it's not toxic?
Oh, it's usually not. But I'm saying like for somebody might hear that and be like, oh, what if you're not interested no more? Like I made a decision. Like my feelings aren't fickle like that.
So like it may get a little toxic from your end, but you here.
Yeah, I'm here, like in the sense of, and when I say it might be a little toxic, the way somebody looks at it, because it's like one day, you know, some days you just wake up and you're not you don't feel like it. Mm-hmm. You're going through like, okay, let me go through the motions of my relationship. My girl always recognizes it though. She always recognizes it. It's not like I can just go through the motions of the relationship and a month went by and she don't say nothing. A day go by and she be like, you didn't kiss me goodnight last night. I'm like, oh, my bad. You got me, right? So that's what really, really holds our relationship is she's a very intuitive in the way that I'm moving. So for me, I made a decision to be there. And when I see behavior in a sense of like, I broke up with somebody because it was, the behavior was detrimental to the future that we wanted to have together and our spirituality and what our future looked like. It was just very, very bad behavior. So it was just like, yo, like, we can't do this.
How did you do it?
Man, you know what? It's a very long story.
Go give me the beginning, middle, and end.
Okay, I give you beginning, middle, and it was some spiritual warfare that was happening with her to where she had to get assistance mentally.
Okay. Yep.
And in getting assistance mentally, you got to really, really focus on yourself and pulling yourself out of that. And in that, she didn't need to be managing a relationship. So me and her mom had a conversation. And her mom,
not you and her, you and her mom.
So me and her,
how'd that go?
So her mom seen her daughter was struggling. Me and her mom had a conversation, and she said, "Send her home." So from there, me and her had a conversation, and it was like, "Yo, like
me and your mom talk.
You need to focus on you. This right here is not doing anything that's gonna benefit you. It's not."
Okay, and then you send her home.
Send her home.
So like, was that like a breakup or was that a separation? Like, what made her know?
We wasn't married, so it was a breakup. We wasn't married. It was a breakup. I mean, it was unfortunate too because I could feel that what had happened to her was damaging to what our future was, regardless of how anybody could listen to it or anything like that. I was the one that was there. I was in it. Mm-hmm. So it was. I had friends who was just like, yo, like you leaving her during this time. And I'm just like, yo, as like things unfold, you'll be able to see and you'll understand. But you're the person who I don't owe an explanation to. You'll see. Now, did we talk? Did we communicate? Like we absolutely did. And because where she was at emotionally, I couldn't give her everything in that space. So as time went on, we did have multiple conversations to where she understood this is why we're not together anymore. Mm-hmm. So, I do agree with you. I 100% feel like you need to make it clear. If someone needs an explanation and understanding, like why are we not in this space no more? What does it look like? You don't want to leave anybody in darkness. Yeah. Now, will somebody always have a full understanding? I don't believe that people are going to always have a full understanding, or that might be their defense mechanism to be like, well, I still don't understand. Why can't we be together? Yeah. I would say that if I really wanted to be with somebody.
Yep.
I think usually when people don't articulate why they're breaking up, it's because of them. You're right? Because this is really on me.
It's really on me.
I can't even think about something because if it's your fault, I'll tell you, hey, yo, this is why I'm breaking up with you, because you've done this.
Yep.
You know, it's a little easier that way. But when it's on you, or let's say I want to break up with you, but I kind of been dealing with a side chick, right? I don't really want to say, yo, I'm breaking up with you because I'm dealing with a side chick. So I'll say, I just can't articulate it, right? I just can't. It's just something about us that's just not working.
Like, what if you don't like somebody that much no more?
You get what I'm saying? Or that I just don't like you like that no more, right?
You can't say that.
No, I'm just saying though.
No.
You can't say that. I mean, it's come on, man. You can't. It's crazy, you know. But that mentality of I just don't like you like that anymore. That's more of a childish mentality to have. You know what I mean? Because then there's something along the lines where you actually let it get to a point where it's just like, yo, I don't even like you no more. Not even, yo, hey, I see you doing this and let's fix this. or I see you doing this and I have an issue with that, let's fix this, or hey yo, you gaining weight, hey, could we fix that? Or you're starting to scream at me a lot, can we fix that? Nah, it's just I just don't like you no more, right? So you just end up not liking anybody no more, but you never made an effort to correct what you don't like. I think that's immature.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I think that I think breaking up is crazy. I think breaking up is crazy. But how do you guys feel about celebrity couples breaking up or getting divorced? Like, are you guys sad at all? Are you guys disappointed?
It's crazy. I'm always just like right in the middle of it. Like I just like almost just very neutral, because my question always with celebrity relationships is like, is it real? You know what I mean? I'm always questioning like, yo, is this thing is this real love or is this real lust? You know what I mean? Are we here for the long haul, or is this just to build social status? You know what I mean? Living in LA, being around the industry, you know what I mean? And obviously social media, these type of things could happen. So my thought is always just like, well, was it real anyway from the start? You know what I mean? And also I feel like with celebrities, it's like a thing to date and move on, like date multiple people. You know what I mean? Like it's a thing to be seen with a person, another celebrity, and then move on to the next. Yeah. So I'm always questioning, is it a real thing?
Yeah. What you?
Man, I hate to say it. Sometimes it gets me. Sometimes I'm just like, yo.
But what got you? What relationship?
Wow, like I'm more of a shock. Not like I'm upset or I don't invest.
Who shocked you?
Honestly, Jeezy.
That was a shocker. That was a shocker. That was a shocker.
I mean, because bro, like he was all in, and we talking about like. Granted, I think it's always easy for people to be on the back here, but like, well, it's Jeezy, but like, but he was all in. Like, this is we talking about the trap guy. You got the trap guy to go to the courthouse and say, "Hey, yo, I'm committed to you."
Yeah,
in front of us, and post pictures on Instagram.
Right.
And buy billboards and do all of the things. And we say like, hey, yo, you know what? I believe it. I believe people can change. I believe in love. Like, who would I to say that didn't shock me when I believe in love? I believe in love. I believe that. Like,
yeah, me too. I don't be second guessing love. And I
believe in it. So when I seen it, I'm like, oh, nah, for him to act at a character like this, it's love.
He gotta love her. Yeah, he gotta love her.
It's love.
Yeah.
Right? So to even see like, even I believe that they went through everything they went through. I believe they went through love, and I believe they're going through this hard part, but I still believe that there is a space of attrition that people have to develop in a relationship. I do believe that. And it makes me think, like, and we kind of talked about this before, but like, I don't believe in going into a marriage where I'll try my best. There's like hey, yo, I'm built to do this, and I'm gonna make this happen. I know it's gonna be difficult, but I decided to make. When you marry somebody, it's like, hey, yo, what you need for your happiness, I'm gonna make sure that I could do. And you decided what I need for my happiness, you're gonna make sure you could do, and we're gonna find a common ground on what that looked like. I believed they were in that space. I feel like you guys can say what you want because it happened already. I feel like hindsight is 20/20, but I believed they were in that space of, we're gonna make this work.
Yeah.
We showcased our love publicly, not publicly like, hey, just so you guys could see it, because outside of Jenny Mai not being black, like, she's a very solid woman. Like, we can see that from her career to the way she carries herself to her family orientation with her mother and just who she is as a woman.
When you say outside of her not being black, you just talking about to the general optics.
I'm saying to the general optics, right? Outside her not being black.
That's the only thing that people would say that.
People would be like, oh, we knew it wasn't going to work. Why?
Right. Okay.
Besides
you're saying like her not being black is the thing that people hang on to.
That's the thing people are holding on to is her not being black.
Right.
But like, can we take away from her being a solid person?
You know what I hate about that too? Is because the overall reaction to it is, yes, a lot of people are surprised, but a lot of people are making jokes about it. And a lot of people are kind of like, oh yeah, come back home, Jeezy. Like, it's funny. And I don't think it's really funny, because when you get divorced, like, There's real pain in that.
Bro, they brought life in together.
Right, there's real pain in divorce. You understand what I'm saying? Like my mom got divorced. My parents was divorced. They like that shit ain't nothing to play with, right? And there's a lot of people like probably like 50% of us got divorced parents. You know, a lot of us come from, you know, divorced households, and you know it's not nothing to play with. You know, like the stress, the embarrassment, the sense of failure that people have, right? No matter who puts the divorce on, right?
Don't matter.
Like you just feel like, damn, man, I failed at this, right? And then it's public information, right? So you got to think about all the shame that they feeling, you know. And then even on her end, just being an Asian and probably just thinking about how there are probably family members in her corner, like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do this.
Yeah, from the jump.
You probably shouldn't do this. You should marry an Asian man, a nice Asian man. And she's like, nah, like I'm gonna do this, and I want to marry this guy. And he's like, yo, but his history, this and this and that, and then it not work, right? So think about the level of embarrassment she feels, right? And then think about the level of embarrassment he feels for like, hey, yo, I came out here and I'm saying, I'm telling everybody I changed, right? I'm out here with you. I have a child with you. I said I was going to commit to you, and now I'm divorcing you. I don't think no man feels good doing that.
No, he's not wearing that proudly. He's not wearing that proudly at all.
And to that point, you know, a lot of people were laughing at her and crucifying her because she was like, oh, I didn't know who Jeezy was before we got married. And they're like, oh, you didn't know who Jeezy was? And it's like, for that there is saying that, yo, he's always going to be who he was. You should have knew who he was. You should have knew how he operated.
As if people can't evolve.
As if people can't evolve. And like, so to answer your question, when I see certain celebrity breakups, certain things, it's like, oh yeah. Especially when you bring in life together. You guys brought in life together, and it was very short-lived. It was a very short-lived,
essentially it was real short,
powerful relationship to me. Yep. I feel like it was a powerful relationship in like referring to love.
Yeah.
I feel like Jeezy inspired a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because there was like, this is the trap god.
Yep.
Right.
This is TM 103, 102, 101.
It definitely inspired the trappers.
For sure.
It definitely did that.
It absolutely did that.
So people like, oh, I mean, if Jeezy could be on this, then like
I could too.
For people to say like, oh yeah, you know, we expected it, like, it's easy. No, you didn't.
Cop out. Nah, that's a cop out.
Yeah, I feel like hindsight is 2020.
Cop out.
Like that's like saying I expected Donald Trump to be. No, you didn't expect him to be president. You did it. You did not.
Right.
It's easy to say you expected something when you seen it. So like,
I don't expect any two people that get married to separate.
Yeah, I don't expect it, but I'm also
that's a terrible expectation.
Terrible.
I will say this though, I don't expect it, but I'm not surprised though either, right? Mm-hmm. Because I think what happens is we start looking at celebrities and start detaching them from being normal people. Mm-hmm. These people have feelings. These people have families. These people have sicknesses. They have all these things going on. And when you strip away all the accolades and the money and the status, like celebrities are normal people.
Yeah.
Right. And you said like, or when y'all said that, yo, it seems like celebrities just move on and date really fast.
Yep.
That's how people are.
Yep.
That's how people are. We just see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just on Front Street to us, so we can actually dissect who they're dating.
I guess you're right.
And say, hey, this person should be dating this, or they look good with this person, or even just like the amount of sex people have. Mm-hmm. Right? People have casual sex. But when it comes to a celebrity, you think like, yo, why this person having sex with this person? Why it seems like they're sleeping around, but they're normal people.
They're doing the same thing everybody else doing.
It's just normal people. They just
it's just underneath the magnifying glass. You know what I'm saying?
So it feels, it's just much more of a shocker to us, you know. But I try to just honestly, like, I love, I be, you know, really following some couples, and I'm like, yo, like this good looking couple, they seem healthy, they seem happy, and then they break up, and then I don't feel any type of way, right? Because I try to detach myself from the idea that like this is perfect. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just like any other couple, and then I honestly don't have an emotional attachment to these couples like I have to y'all relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like if something happened in y'all relationship, that would hurt me because I actually have ties to y'all relationship, right? I'm actually going to be there to support y'all relationships and y'all for me, right? So those relationships hurt me. But when it happens on TV, it's like, damn. But I think Chanel asked me like how I feel. I was like, honestly, like I don't feel good or bad, right? I hope it works out. But if it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm able to sleep and it's crazy, but that's just how I approach it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a hurt thing. It's like a shock, but you kind of stay in shock a little longer because you can't have a conversation with the person and be like, hey man, what happened here?
I got you.
Like
curious.
What happened here? Like, man, I mean, we go from, this post in the beginning of the year and everything is great, and then you go here, like, and not just saying when people, oh, you can't base it off Instagram. Like, yeah, so, but what else I'm gonna base it off of? I don't know them. Right?
Well, what do you base it off of?
Yeah, what you gonna base it off of? Like when you see them at the grocery store, like you're not doing that. So I'm saying like optically, it's like, dang, you guys were doing great, and now you guys are filing for divorce, right? Do we have a connection to our friends' relationships? Like just the relationship, your relationship in general? No, but I have a connection to you two as individuals, and I know what it's going to emotionally do to each one of you guys. So I have a connection to that. Like I don't know what the nuances of your relationships are. So like, I don't have a connection to the relationship. I have a connection to you guys as individuals. Like I have a duty, and we talk about this. Like, yo, bro, I'm gonna. If you guys are on the rocks, the space is open for me to talk to your partners. The space is open for me to talk to your partners because of the relationship that we have. I don't want you guys to emotionally have to go through that, right? So that's where my connection will be. Like as far as like the nuances, like I don't know how you guys want to raise your kid. I don't know if you guys want to do private school, public school. Like I don't have a connection to the relationship. I have a connection to two individuals. And I also do think, like, as we talking about this, I think it's important, like, as friends to have connection to the two individuals in a relationship as if you guys are
to
adults.
Be there to support.
To be able to support.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you my friend, but we've talked about this in detail. Like, I do have to have an allegiance to your partner. That's the only way for me to look out for you the best way that I could possibly look out for you.
Yep.
Dude, you my brother, but I have to have an allegiance to Chanel as well. Because that's the only way for me to effectively be able to look out for your relationship.
I saw Pat Bet David make this post on Instagram. He said, before he got with his wife, he says, yo, if you and I have an argument, who you gonna go tell? Or are you and who you gonna tell? And she said, my friends. All right.
I saw this.
You saw that one?
I saw this. It was good.
And he's like, if you and I have an argument, I'm gonna go tell. I'm gonna tell my dad, my mom, like people that's really close to me. You know why? Because they're gonna tell me I need to work it out with you.
Yep.
Right. But if you go tell your friends, they're gonna tell you what you want to hear. They're gonna say, oh, you need to leave him. Right. So the people that you telling your problems to, or you going to for counsel, should definitely be on your side, right? So they should be on,
or even your partner's side.
They should be. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They should always be on your partner's side and not on your side, because if they're just on your side, they're going to tell you what's better for you. If they're on your partner's side, they're going to tell you what's best for y'all.
Yep.
Right. And I think that those types of people help build healthy dynamics in relationships, not people that's trying to divide y'all. So to your point, that's spot on.
So to that point, dude, I feel like when you just said people have to support your partner in supporting y'all's relationship, right? Like, so for example, like me having Chanel's best interest, not necessarily just with you. Like, I know you. I know where you fall short at. I know where you strong at. I know all of that. I'm not trying to give you information on you, right? So in that, and you believe in having people around you that's going to support you in that space, right?
Yep.
So you moving into marriage, and you're getting your marriage list together, and like, let's just say hypothetically, you're getting your marriage list together, and let's say you guys are having a small intimate wedding, and we say a small intimate wedding, I'm gonna say 50 people.
Yep.
I'm gonna say 50 people. 50 people on your side, 50 people on her side. So it's small, intimate, but it's still
Enough
It's still enough people, right? And you're choosing the people because now, like, you have to really, really go through each and every individual and pick each and every individual. I know I'm in there. I know O's in there, right? But we start getting to your friends that don't believe in marriage. Mm-hmm. We start getting to your friends that don't believe in even supporting your marriage. They support you and they love you and they care about you, but they don't necessarily, like this chapter of your life that you're moving into, they don't necessarily believe in those things specifically. Mm-hmm. As you're making your list, are those people that you consider to put on your list? Mm. Like how do you still keep that space sacred?
Yeah.
But still, you know, have people like that will be at that sacred ceremony.
Man, you know what? I feel like I've always thought about who's important to me. You know, I've always thought about who's important to me, not necessarily. I've never really thought about, okay, who has the same mindset as me around the things I believe in, but more so, who supported me, who's always been there, who do I love, who do I know loves me, right? And who's been there for my relationship, right? And I think people can be there for a relationship. I've never experienced it, and not say and not be aligned with marriage, right? Now, there's a difference in someone that says, "Yo, I don't believe in marriage, and I don't support your marriage." That's the difference. Now, if you tell me I don't support your marriage, or I feel like you don't support my marriage, then you will not be invited to my wedding, right? But if you just say, "Hey, listen, hey, good luck. Hey, I love it. I love love, but it's just not for me," then you can come to my wedding. I will invite you. But it's two different like approaches.
So I say let's say you have, you know, specific conversations to where the conversations are generalized around, you know, I look at women like this. I don't believe in these things, and they're telling you this as you they know you're in a relationship. They know where you're moving. They know how you are trying to proceed in your relationship. And they constantly tell you like, yo, like, bro, you shouldn't even invest all of your time in that, because usually they end in like 50% divorces. Like, you shouldn't.
Well, that's different though, because that's telling me that you don't support my marriage. Yeah. That's telling me that, hey, yo, you don't like what I'm doing, or you think I'm making a bad decision. That's completely different than just like saying, yo, I have my beliefs, but I'm here to support you. It's way different. Now, if you don't even have to verbally say I don't support you, but if I feel like everything you saying is trying to convince me to not get married,
you don't support it.
Then you don't support it. Then I know you don't support it. Then I'll say, okay, I'm not invited to my wedding.
But I'm saying they still love you.
That's
they love you.
Right.
But I am turning into we.
Right. They don't understand that.
Well, it's not about even about the love part, right? It's just about, hey, I specifically, whether indirectly or directly, there's no confusion that you don't like what I'm doing.
Okay.
You don't support what I'm doing, and you wish I didn't even do this. There's no confusion. You're not invited to my wedding.
Regardless of the relationship y'all got.
You're not invited to my wedding.
Flat out.
Regardless of the relationship y'all got.
You're not invited to my wedding. Okay. Because I can't have that energy around me or my wife.
Nah.
Right? Or my extended family, or my immediate family, or anybody. I can't have the energy around.
So, and I'm asking because, I mean, you still got those homies who like, hey, I'll be there when it's over. I was here before. I'll be there after her, dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that not a real thing that you've never heard a guy say that? You never heard a woman say that?
Not going into marriage though. I'm not going into marriage.
Hey man, I'll be here. I was here before.
Listen,
I'll be here after her, dog.
I don't have those homies around.
I don't want those homies.
I don't have those homies. But I'm just saying though, like hypothetical reasons, like that person would not be invited to my wedding. No, that's completely different.
I second
that's
that.
Way different. Nah, no way.
And I asked that because like people are not gonna come out and be like, I don't believe in your marriage. You know, I don't believe in marriage in general. And they might not even know that they don't support your marriage. But what I'm saying is we kind of move into a territory, a space where I don't feel like as a married person that somebody can only support you. I feel like that's very, very difficult. I could interact with you. I could have conversation with you, but when we talk about that level of sacredness, when you do your ceremony again, and I'm sure you guys are probably gonna have vows again. Like, do you want to say your vows in front of somebody who like, man, you just support me?
Not at all.
Like, and this is a thought that I've been having, like, as we maneuver into different aspects of our lives and people support you, but they don't support your progression, or people support you, but they don't support your vision, or people support you, but they don't support the next phase of life that you're moving into. Like, is that okay? And I just been sitting with it and thinking with it, and just like, I don't think it's okay. It doesn't make me feel good. Like, you can be like, yo, I'm not gonna get married, but I love that you're in love. I accept that. I can understand that. But if you're like, I'm not gonna get married, hey, and when you do, I'll be here, you know. I mean, I don't think it's just like a man thing. I feel like men and women, this would be something that you look at. You look at who's in your life as you're moving into these next chapters and these next phases of your life, and see in what capacity you can bring them along with you. I'm not saying to eliminate them from everything, but those days of like just sending somebody to invite because like you guys went to high school together, or just sending somebody to invite because they was your neighbor when you grew up, or just sending them to invite because, man, we went to college together. But like, do you support this next phase of my life that I'm really moving into? And I feel like as we getting older and we looking at life truly more serious, like Duke, you say it all the time, like, yo, like when people say it's just not that serious, like it is. Like it is. Like, do I want somebody there that doesn't care about my vows at my wedding? Do I want somebody there who doesn't care about my family around my family? Like, you don't care. You care about me, but you don't care about nothing else that I come with.
You don't really care about me. Because if you care about me, like I care about you, I care about you. And like whatever come with Jelon,
I'm down with
whatever come with Duke, I'm down with. You know what I mean? So you can't care about me. That person can't care. That person almost actually like really praying on the downfall on the low ski without coming out and saying it. And you don't want anybody. What our coach used to say, we don't want any blessing blockers. I don't want to be around any blessing blockers on my biggest day. You know what I mean? On one of the biggest moments, one of the biggest commitments I'm ever gonna make in my life.
I feel like people be caring about who you was, and they want you to go back to that eventually. So they stick around till you go back to that. But like,
that's what I'm saying. That's the person that's praying on your downfall without praying on your downfall.
Because your downfall is who you used to be.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want no blessing blockers.
No,
I don't want no BBs around here. Man.
I can't pray with no blessing blockers.
But yeah, fellas, what else we got? We good? Well, we got any announcements before we wrap it up?
Got that Law 17 dropping?
Hey, yo, really quick though. Hey, this would be a great opportunity to subscribe. Subscribe. All right. Like, comment, subscribe.
But really subscribe though.
Go ahead. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Law 17 has a new capsule out right now. So if you go to law17.com and you explore the shop and just look around, you're going to see something you like. And ladies, if you're watching this, it's menswear, but some of you guys have very special people in your life that you want to buy things for. All right. It is cuffing season. And the holidays are here. So law17.com, use Nice and Neat at checkout, and you get 20% off the capsule. NiceandNeat.com. I'm sorry, not NiceandNeat.com, law17.com. Use Nice and Neat at checkout. You get 20% off the whole capsule. Is that it, fellas?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching
and blessing blockers.
And listening. And we really appreciate you guys for just rocking with us. We are almost at 100 episodes. And when we get to that milestone, we'll have something special for you guys. Okay? So stay tapped in, stay subscribed. And yeah, make sure you're following us on all social platforms. Following us at all streaming platforms. That's Spotify, Apple Music, and the whole shebang. Okay. Until next time, much love and gratitude. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalan, and this is another episode of Nice and Neat, and that's that on that.
I'll be the
Peace.
one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting older now, I don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance, I stand.